Kia ora everybody, Chris Farhi here from the Bayleys Insights and Data team. We've got Ankur Dakwale talking about the biggest news in New Zealand real estate. Ankur, this place is beautiful. Whereabouts are we, man?
Yes, we're very lucky to have this location to film at today. We are at 6 Takutai Street in Parnell. Now this is Parnell Family Perfection. 4 bedrooms, 2 lounges, 3 bathrooms with a swimming pool as well. On 867 square meters, it's extensively remodeled and sitting on an elevated sunny site. Located also in the double grammar zone, close to the Parnell village. So if you want to learn more about this property, please get in touch with Fleur Denning from Bayleys and Remuera.
Yeah, this place is stunning. We had a snoop around, super cool. The stages have also done a really nice job on the furniture in here, but I'm pretty sure it's got heated floors as well, which is good for that sort of really average Auckland weather at the moment. In this video, we've got a really good lineup of content. We've got some commentary around where the market's at the moment from a housing perspective, the latest building consent data. We've got a snapshot of recent sales across Auckland's northwest, update from Fonterra on what's happening with farmgate milk prices, and of course we've got the property of the week. So first off, Ankur, some major commentators come out about where they think the housing market's at the moment.
Yes, we've got major commentators that have come out and say that we've likely hit the bottom of the market. So this was commentary by One Roof featuring CoreLogic and ANZ. They believe that the driver for house market correction has been interest rates, and these have likely to peak now. So we can see that ANZ is actually forecasting an increase in house prices in the third and fourth quarter of this year at 1.6% each quarter.
And that's interesting, right? Because they were previously projecting Q3 down and Q4 up for like net zero, and now they've actually said, no, it's probably up and up.
Yeah.
Next up, we also had Stats New Zealand release the latest building consent data for April 2023. So Ankur, what have we got in that?
Yeah, so Stats New Zealand released this data, and it shows that we have 45,962 homes consented in 12 months to April 2023. Now this was down 9.3% on the prior 12 months. April had about 2,700 new dwellings, and more than half of these developments were multi-unit developments. So a real push for that higher density townhouses and apartment living. And what's quite interesting is that the value of the non-res work is up 12% to 9.7 billion in the 12 months to April 2023.
Interesting, eh? It also shows that I guess there's a slowdown in that pipeline for new housing, which is interesting because at the same time you've got some sentiment that the market's probably stabilising, but you've also had this big rebound in migration. So more people need more homes, pipeline's getting smaller. So I think that's starting to form our view around some of the drivers for the next big uptake in the cycle. Next up, Bayleys Commercial also released their latest workplace update. Now this was really interesting. It had the latest industrial, retail and office leasing opportunities. And Ankur, there's also some articles focused on larger properties and the leasing of large properties.
Yeah, so we got 3 articles in this update. The first is called Work from Work. Now this focuses on corporate occupiers. We had large-scale industrial occupiers. Again, that's for industrial spaces. And big business, big space. And this is focusing largely on the large format retail space.
So next up, moving into the rural space, Fonterra released their first forecast of farmgate milk prices for the new season. And so this is the projected price of milk solids for farmers in the Fonterra cooperative. It's actually quite a big deal for dairy market and for dairy property. And so at this stage, they're forecasting a midpoint of $8 per kg of milk solids, with a range sitting between 7.25 to 8.75. Now, Ankur, how does that compare to like last season?
Yeah, so the prior season's projections are between $8.10 and $8.30. And now this is at the bottom end of that season's first forecast.
Yeah, and so that's interesting because it means that this coming season is either going to be within a similar range or maybe a little bit lower. And the overall outlook when you start to translate that into the dairy farm property market is that there's possibly going to be a bit of softening, although in fairness the rural property markets have been a lot more resilient than the commercial and residential markets over the past 12 months. Next up, we've got our sales snapshot for this week, and this week's snapshot is powered by the team at Bayleys Northwest in Auckland with a sample of residential and lifestyle sales in the Northwest. And so Ankur, what have we got first up?
Yes, the first sale that we have is 65B Manuka Grove in Helensville. Now this is described as elevated, private and with potential. It's a lifestyle block, 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms sitting on 5.07 hectares. And this was sold for $2.5 million by Analia Hentley.
And then next up we've got 48 Wallace Road in Hobsonville Point. So this is described as executive luxury, brand new and fabulous. It's obviously a brand new home, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, terraced. 112 square metres. It was the last one in the block, and this one sold for 1.105 million by Barry He and Cherry Kingsley Smith from Bayleys Northwest.
And the last one we have is 83 Station Road in Huapai. Now this was described as look no further. So it's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathroom home sitting on 448 square meters, located in the heart of Kumu. It's a modern open plan design, and this was sold for 1.05 million by Jane McCall from Bayleys in Kumu.
And so, Ankur, out of those properties, which one's the standout for you?
The standout for me is 48 Wallace Road in Hobsonville. So it's a little further away from the CBD, but especially with the ferry there as well, you can see what you can get as a brand new home for around 1.1 million.
Yeah, also interesting because it's pretty close to the Auckland median, right? The most recent median was pretty much bang on 1 million. So you spend just a little bit more. Hobsonville Point, brand new master plan community and brand new house. Yeah, pretty cool. So next up, going offshore, our global partner Knight Frank released their latest global super prime intelligence. Now this sounds pretty awesome. What it is it's a study of house sales above 10 million US dollars around the world. What they found in this was that Q1 2023's volumes were up about 11% on Q4 2022. It's a bit of an uptick. The biggest areas for strong performance were Dubai, which accounted for about 17% of all of the super prime sales, and next was London at about 14%. And so, Ankur, relating that to the New Zealand housing market, how are we going in that sort of super prime space?
Yeah, so US $10 million equates to about $16.7 million over here. Quite a niche, quite small market over here. And if we take into account Ryan's 2022 stats, there were about 62,645 sales last year. And above that threshold for 16.7 million, there were only 3. So you're talking about the top 0.0048% of sales.
Yeah, pretty interesting, eh? So we're a little bit light on the super primes, but yeah, overall not too bad. Next up, our global partner Knight Frank, in partnership with Cressa, also launched their latest Global Corporate Real Estate Sentiment Index for Q1 2023. So Ankur, what have we got on that?
Yes, this was quite interesting because it's the first time since they've launched this index that the sentiment has improved, so during Q1 2023. So the occupiers are typically looking to use their current footprint rather than expand or add to their current footprints. The occupiers are also looking to put more focus into amenities into their office and increasing the density as well, so putting more people in a smaller space.
Interesting as well, because it's starting to show this trend almost away from some of the remote and hybrid work, with people trying to put more density into the offices, whereas I think the trend over 2020 and 2021, even through to last year, was more about sort of reducing. So quite a tricky space at the moment. And then finally, to wrap up, we've got our property of the week. So Ankur, what have you got for us?
Yeah, so my property of the week has to be none other than what we're sitting in at the moment. This beautiful property at 6 Takutai Street in Parnell. Again, 4 bedrooms, 2 lounges, 3 bathrooms, swimming pool on 867 square meters, extensively remodeled, great flow between formal, informal, and outdoor living spaces, and we can attest to that. And it's located in the double grammar zone close to Parnell Village. So if you want to learn more, please get in touch with Fleur Denning from Bayleys in Remuera.
Yeah, this place is super cool. For my property of the week, I've got 229 Reserve Road in Amberley in Canterbury. This is a bespoke home rich in character and detail. It's got 4 bedrooms, 2 lounges, 3 bathrooms and a swimming pool sitting on 20.58 hectares. It's got well-established park-like grounds, and if you want to learn more, you can contact Lance Barrett from Bayleys Rangiora. That said, we'll wrap it up here. So massive thanks to the vendor for this property, Fleur Denning from Bayleys Remuera. Thanks for hosting us. Cheers, Ankur.
Thanks, Chris.
And we'll see you next time. Ciao.
Yeah.